A great example of mum burnout is my youngest went last night to my mum's house to go to the cinema and stay overnight, and I decided that the afternoon and the evening I was going to have time to do art just for myself, watch a movie. And what actually happened was, once she'd gone on, I got the mother of all migraines. I don't know if this happens to you, but when you finally release all of that tension, I get a headache, I get a migraine. And so by 7 p.m. last night, instead of watching a movie and arting my little heart out, I was in bed with an ice pack on my forehead, an ice pack on the back of my head, tablets taken, in a dark room, trying to not throw up. How the hell do you overcome mum burnout? I've got 4 tips for you.
This is what I always dreamed about. I'm over being scared, let them talk and let them stare. Go tell them that my time is now.
So when you're running on fumes and everybody wants a piece of you and you've got the mental load of an army that you're having to sort out for everybody, it can feel absolutely exhausting when someone comes up and says, just take a bubble bath. Just take half an hour for yourself. That will make you feel so much better. And like, yeah, I get it. It's going to help, but it's not actually going to help in the long term. It will help for that moment in time. And then as a parent, the instant you get out of that bath, it's full on again. So what actually helps? Dropping the guilt. And I say this chuckling because it's probably one of the hardest things to do, and I feel guilty about a lot of things because of my own past traumas and believing that I was wrong in a lot of different ways. But believing that you are the reason for everything wrong in your life and in your world is absolutely wrong. Today's society has made it so mums not only are looking after the kids 24/7 and the house 24/7, they're expected to go to work and bring in money. It's not as simple as perhaps we would like it to be. I do believe that when we have kids, we should be at home to look after them. However, what we are missing is community a lot of the time. There's a lot of people out there who don't have grandparents to help out, don't have aunts and uncles or friends, and you are literally doing this all alone, and it's absolutely exhausting. You can be surrounded by people and still be the only one doing it. So if you're feeling burnt out because of all those things, it's not because you're weak, you're actually really, really strong, but you do need to give yourself time to work on rectifying this situation. But just remember that we're not living in tribes in a small village anymore where everybody helps look after the kids. It's generally kids versus mum and dad after work. It's generally much more intense these days. We live further apart, we're working all the time, and we get left to our own devices, and that's why we are ending up in burnout. So number 2 is going to be finding little ways to reclaim yourself. Now, again, this is really, really hard, and if your parents are a neurodivergent child or a child that is going through a particularly hard time right now, it can be extraordinarily difficult to find something that's yours. I love my art. I have used my art as my little escapism, my little thing that I do, that I get to enjoy, that is nobody else's. And I think it's really, really important, and has been a massive part in my recovery, make the best future for my children and my kids, is that I have that thing that is mine and I am mindful of doing it. And things like this setup behind me. Now this could look like a teenage girl's bedroom, right? I don't care. This brings me joy. I've got a My Little Pony, I've got my BTS BT21 characters, I've got crystals, and I've got oracle cards, and I've got Funko Pops, I've got 80s Ouyang, and I've got all my scissors and pens, and this makes me feel joyous and it's mine. When you're a teenager or a child, you quite often have your own bedroom, or you share a bedroom, or you have an area that you can express yourself in. Now when you're an adult, you end up having to share your bedroom. I love you, babe. But you don't have these areas to just like be yours. So this is my little corner of positivity and fun and all the things that make my weird little heart happy. So find what it is that makes your weird little heart happy and start doing more of it. Number 3 is going to be ask for help and accept it. Now I'm calling you out because I'm calling myself out. We actually have to ask for help, and then we have to accept it, even if it's not done in the way that we would want it to be done. You need to accept some help. If a friend is offering to take your kid out for the afternoon and your kid's cool with that, let them do it, please. Have that bit of time to yourself and ask and communicate with your family about what you need and exactly how you need it from them, so that you can have time for yourself. And even if it's just because you're going to end up in bed with a migraine like I did, it's still worthwhile doing, because I needed that reminder that I needed to come back to base and find boundaries again. Think outside the box. Drop in the comments below little ways that you have found to get people helping you and that you've asked for help and accepted it. And number 4 is going to be Instagram isn't reality, TikTok isn't reality, social media isn't reality. Everybody looks fantastic on social media, but behind closed doors we're all bloody messy. So stop with the shoulds, the woulds, the coulds. Start realising that the reality of life is everybody's is messy. Stop trying to be the Pinterest perfect, never argues, patient, pristine little mum. That's not life. We're out here doing our best. We're in the trenches, as it were. And what you're doing is enough. But if you're here and you're trying, you are 100% on the right path because you care. Please remember that you're allowed to put yourself back on the priority list. I actually feel that mums and carers being top of the priority list is what helps our kids the most in general. If we look after ourselves, we have the strength to look after our kids and fight for the reasonable adjustments and the school place and everything they need to enable them to have a great life. So put yourself at the top. The kids only have to be a tiny bit underneath so that you don't feel guilty. Oh no, we're stopping the guilt, aren't we? Look after yourself. You do it.
Go and tell 'em all.